Imagine launching a massive new financial asset, backing it with millions of dollars, and watching it immediately turn to smoke. This chart tracks Ripple's new dollar-backed stablecoin, RLUSD. Over a 30-day window, Ripple issued $449.3 million worth directly onto the XRP Ledger, creating a massive upward spike. Instantly, institutional clients redeemed and burned 448.9 million of those tokens, wiping out the spike. When you subtract the redemptions from the issuances, you get a staggering 99% burn rate. The actual net supply growth of the token on this network is practically zero. In almost any corner of the financial world, mass redemptions like this signal a bank run, an abandoned project, or simply zero demand. But applying that logic here leads to a completely inaccurate conclusion. Looking solely at the XRP Ledger only shows us half of the actual ecosystem. The data reveals a highly deliberate, ultra-efficient financial engine working exactly as intended. To see the full picture, we have to zoom out from the XRP Ledger and look at the competing Ethereum network. Comparing the stablecoin's activity across networks during that identical 30-day window, Ethereum saw $403 million issued. Unlike the near total drain earlier, Ethereum's burn rate was drastically lower. Only 177.3 million tokens were burned, easily retaining over $225 million in net inflows. When you pull back and look at the total circulating supply of RLUSD, it sits at a hefty $1.75 billion. This chart shows exactly how that total liquidity is distributed. Because of these completely different issuance and burn rates, the total supply is split almost perfectly down the middle, 50.2% on the XRP Ledger and 49.8% on Ethereum. So why does the exact same digital dollar act as a long-term asset on one blockchain and a fleeting, split-second transaction on another? The answer lies in how these networks are built. Think of Ethereum as the vault. It hosts a massive decentralized finance market where users park their stablecoins long-term to accumulate yield and earn interest over time. The XRP Ledger, however, is structured as the highway. It is a high-speed transit corridor built explicitly for moving capital from point A to B. Major players use this infrastructure for instant cross-border settlements. Local fiat currency is converted into the stablecoin to transport it instantly along this transit line. The exact millisecond the token arrives and settles, it is redeemed back for fiat, completely destroying the digital token. This 99% burn rate is the mechanical byproduct of high-volume, instant usage. Ethereum is optimized specifically for liquidity accumulation. The XRP Ledger is optimized specifically for liquidity transit. Even recent network data, a sudden $35.7 million removal from circulation on the XRP Ledger, is just this dual-chain engine executing another successful settlement cycle. The crypto industry usually judges network success by a metric called total value locked, or TVL. Analysts look at how much capital is sitting completely still on a ledger and use that to measure total demand. But applying a metric like TVL to a transit-based network is an analytical error. It measures stagnation rather than actual utility. To properly evaluate the future of institutional finance, we have to measure success by transaction velocity and the volume of real-time conversions. When a network is built exclusively to settle global payments, the token is merely a vehicle. Its ultimate purpose is to complete the journey and cease to exist. Sometimes, the true value of a financial network isn't measured by how much money sits idle. It's measured by how fast it disappears.